Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me again. And this week, I thought we'd talk about the fact that an awful lot of us, and me included, have perhaps put on a pound or two or more during lockdown. This is understandable. We know that. We've had a rough ride, as has the world. And the way we cope with that is often to eat more, drink more, and being stuck in the house makes you eat and drink more. So let's look at what's happening and why, perhaps, other than COVID and the lockdown, because remember, we have now had a huge lifting of restrictions. Hopefully they will stay, but we've got to keep an eye on that. So what else is it? What's perhaps behind the reason that we're putting on a little bit of weight? Now, one of the first things to maybe consider is, are you skimping on sleep? We all blame teenagers. They stay up till the crack of dawn watching films and things, and then they don't wake up until midday or whatever. Have any of us started to get into that kind of routine? Are we staying up to watch the late movie because, oh, well, I don't have to get up in the morning anyway? We end up then living at the wrong end of the day, and it's actually bad for our bodies, particularly as we are used to a completely different routine. So make sure you're getting the required at least about 8 hours of sleep if you can. Check your bedroom, make sure that it is nice and clear and it's nice and airy, that you've got your windows open, etc., and it's not cluttered. You need to get rid of anything that might be disturbing you. You're half awake in the night and think, oh, there's that pile of ironing, or those letters need to be written, or whatever. And make sure, as I said, that you actually wind down before you go to bed. Don't just suddenly switch off the TV, your computer, your laptop, whatever, and then go to bed. If possible, avoid using any screens at least an hour before bedtime, and that should help. It could be that you are stressed, and when we can be stressed about a lot of things, not just the coronavirus, there can be other things in our lives. We've all got the usual strains and stresses that go on, and stress really can be a problem with weight. It does tend to, with an awful lot of people, put weight on. There are those of you who'll say, well, heavens, I lose weight, but an awful lot will turn to comfort eating and that sort of thing. So how do we de-stress? One of the best ways is to actually exercise. It is one of the best distressors. So try and get out there and exercise again. Also a little bit of, as we did last week, a little bit of meditation, just taking a bit of time out for yourself, and maybe looking at the problems. Are they problems that you can actually do something about or not? Are they really your problems? And often this is the case. We can begin to take on the problems of the world, particularly when we watch the news all the time, which we all tend to still be looking at the telly for news of what's happening with the coronavirus. And we see all of this awful disaster all over the world, that people are really suffering terribly, and you can take it on board just on your shoulders, and that won't do you any good at all. So try and deal with only the things you can deal with. Are you not combining healthy diet and exercise? We are tempted to think that we can actually do without one of those. We can manage, if I exercise a lot, I'll be fine. Or if I just cut down on things, I won't need to do much exercise. Really, the combination is the best if you can. So where you can manage it, do try to get both in. It's not that difficult to do. And I certainly, speaking from my own experience, and I'm sure a lot of you got to the situation where you were being quite determined to exercise every morning and get that walk in and do your routine, etc. And then there are days you think, oh, I can't be bothered doing that, I'll do it tomorrow. And all of a sudden you think, when did I last do the routine? When did I last go for a walk? And because we're perhaps socialising a bit more, we haven't got that amount of time. So look, have you cut your exercise down to a minimum? And with food, obviously, we still need to eat the healthiest food we can. Cooking from scratch is mainly the way to go. If you can, check what you're eating, look at labels, particularly if you get labels with a list of ingredients that you don't understand, don't buy it. It's likely to be full of chemicals and things. Good, fresh, wholesome food in season, and if possible, locally grown. All good for us. Do you still see food as the enemy? Now, this is something that is ingrained in us. For years and years, many of us have been trying to lose a bit of weight. And so we see things like cheese or chocolate or ice cream or whatever as the enemy. Therefore, we ban it. I will not have that again. I'm going to lose weight before I go back to class. I don't want Rosemary seeing me at this weight. All the girls will laugh when they see how much weight I've put on. So we ban foods. Right, I'm not eating that again. But the minute you're a bit low, that's when you will turn to those foods and you will binge on them. So allow a taste now and again, be sensible about it. Just don't get to the point where you're actually using food to help you get through things. Are we maybe not being sensible about our goals? Now, it could be you thinking, well, we've talked about possibly, we don't know now, we will be coming back to classes in September. Okay, I've got a month. Here we are in August. I can do something about this. Don't be tempted to go to the old fad diets. The quick fix diets will give you instant results because you're actually starving your body of nutrients. However, they're not sustainable. If you can, just cut down on the junk, on the extras, all the stuff that goes in between the meals themselves. Can you maybe cut down portions? Perhaps you started to build up your portions during the time that we've been in lockdown. Just because it's there doesn't mean you have to eat it. I know we don't like waste, but try and cook a little less if you can. So overall, celebrate who you are, and what you've achieved. We have all achieved a great deal in getting to where we are through this terrible pandemic. It's worldwide, we know that, and our own individual problems are very varied, but we've come through, we're still here. So celebrate that. We've actually done very well. If we put on a few pounds, that is natural. Of course, people will naturally put on a little bit of weight. We're living very, very differently, but perhaps address that now and see if you can do something about it. And remember, for every pound of weight that you lose, you'll have lost 24 cubic inches. You'll have burned an extra 3,500 calories. So if you want to reduce your risk of heart attack and stroke and even some cancers, also want to make yourself younger, fitter, healthier, and far more attractive, sensible, healthy eating, regular exercise, and keep smiling. Take care, everyone. I'm off on holiday this week, so hopefully the weather's good. The forecast is looking great. I will let you know how I get on when I return. Take care. Bye for now. Bye-bye.